What is up, Ludi Bros Army? It's your boy Big Bro Lamar Ludi sitting down to go over my fantasy matchup from last week. Let's just jump right into this video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on. We're going to keep the fantasy basketball coming to you guys on the regular. But let's go ahead and look over the matchup from last week. Now, I was going up against the last undefeated team, Team Rosario. He was 5-0, and as you can see, I put that blemish on his record. He's now 5-1. I've worked my way up to 4-2 after starting the first two games in these fantasy matchups. I lost the first two. I've now won 4 games in a row. And if you look here, here's the breakdown for the day by day from this week. Last Monday, I got out strong and I never looked back. 354 points to 178. The next night, on Tuesday night last week, I only had a couple guys playing and he was able to make up a little bit of that margin. But then on November 24th, the day before Thanksgiving, I was able to really put out some production, getting 437 points. Finishing off the week with a nice comfortable lead, 1541 to 1165. This 1541 represents the most points that I've been able to score in a week. And as you can see, I was actually the highest scoring player, highest scoring team in the whole fantasy league. The next closest guy is at 1482, who I'm actually matched up with Team Stubing this week. So hopefully I can continue this high output. If there's anything that this fantasy has shown me, it's the importance of health. The best ability is availability. I've said it on previous videos and I'm gonna say it again. Once my roster started getting healthy, I'm seeing more point production, and I'm gonna look and see if I can find my point production week by week. But let's go ahead and check out what I was given this week. Terry Rozier started going off in these last 2 games. He ended up producing 215 fantasy points. He dropped 105 total points, where if you see nobody else was in triple digits, doesn't even look like anybody else is close. Anthony Edwards got 81. He also had some good games. Jeremy Grant had 86. But I mean, let's look at James Harden, who's a known scorer. He only had 46 points for the week. 3 games to Terry Rozier's 4, but still 105 total points from Terry Rozier, and then 215 fantasy points. He really went off for me this last week, and it was perfect timing. He's finally getting healthy. He started off the year with a little bit of an ankle injury, and he's finally getting healthy, and I'm starting to see the dividends of drafting this guy. So that was really nice. Drew Holiday has got 174 points for me. Fantasy points now. I'm looking at the fantasy, so this is combining everything. So you can see here he's got 79 points. He's got 26 rebounds and 25 assists over the course of 4 games. So coming from your point guard, those are some really solid rebounding numbers. If you look across the board, Christian Wood, who is a very valuable center in fantasy, he's got 25 rebounds for me. And of course, yes, there's an extra game, so that's going to skew things a little bit. But I mean, we're comparing a point guard to a center, or even someone like Draymond Green, who everybody touts him. He was able to chip in with the rebounds. He was able to chip in just 21 rebounds over the course of 3 games. So we're seeing some very, good production coming out from Drew Holiday and that department. So I'm glad to see that. Anthony Edwards, he had some great games. He had 32 rebounds. That's going to help out. Steals and blocks are weighted high when it comes to fantasy. So you get 4 points for steals and 4 points per blocks. So check this out. Terry Rozier had 11 steals in his 4 games. Anthony Edwards had 10 steals. So on the defensive end, I'm starting to see some very, very good production from these guys. Look at these turnovers. Draymond Green, 14 of them. He's got 14 turnovers to his assists, to 26 assists. So handling that ball, moving it around, turning the ball over a lot. I'm going to have to make a choice here, because I'm going to be, if you want to take a close look at my roster, Zion Williamson, we talked about him last week. He's going to be coming back pretty soon. So I'm going to be looking to drop somebody off. I'm going to have to drop somebody off. And Draymond Green, he does provide in fantasy, but he's the most likely candidate to get dropped off once Zion Williamson is going to be healthy and coming back. So other guys, other GMs in the league, people looking to make a boost, Draymond Green is probably going to be a likely pickup for those guys. But I'm comfortable with what I have going on here. I've been able to finally get some health, and it's showing a nice 1541. I'm trying to get this video out to you guys as fast as I can. You can see that this next week's already started. I'm out 18-0, but today's just the first game. There's a lot of games that haven't even tipped off yet. So I'm going to have to keep my eyes open for that. But let's go ahead and check the standings. Now that we've got an updated standings, here I am. I'm 4-2, tied with Team Doodles, who's also 4-2. On top there is 5-1. Team Rosario's 5-1. Team Stubing's also 4-2. So we're starting to, I mean, it's still very early in the season if you really think about it. I mean, even the 1973 Wainimi Vikings, they're 3 games back, you know, so just a quick 3-game winning streak, which we've seen that I've been able to turn it around, can really get you back into the thick of things up top. We've only got 2 teams who haven't won a game yet. It'll be interesting to see which one of those teams is able to get one. They'll have to play each other. Maybe that's the matchup. They're going to have to play each other and see what happens there. But even with this 4-game winning streak, I'm still seemingly being held back. I'm ranked number 5, and I'm kind of surprised at that. You know, I've got the longest streak so far in this league, and I would like to see myself a little bit higher. Making moves here. These are moves that have been made by the GMs. Team Rosario's made 14 moves, and it's really helped him out. You gotta, sometimes you add a guy and you drop a guy and you see if you can get some production out of him for, you know, for one game or, you know, just for a specific matchup. And those moves have been helping him out. He was 5-0, but then he matched up with me. Now he ended up being 5-1. I'm really hoping that I can keep this going coming into this next week. Let's take a look at Team Stubing and let's check out Stubing's roster. So he's got Darius Garland, DeMar DeRozan, who's having a great year, Porzingis, who's an all-around player, Karl Anthony Towns, another all-around player. He has a very balanced roster. Jonas Valanciunas, another all-around player. Booker and Trae Young are going to get him some points. Collins, all-around player. Klay Thompson's going to be coming back soon. Oh, but he's got 2 guys who are out, so that's interesting. We'll see how that impacts him. But a lot of all-around players who are going to be able to go ahead and contribute. But if my roster's healthy, and that was what I said at the very beginning of the season, if my roster is healthy, then I'm willing to take my group of guys, and I think that we can really do some damage, you know, in this little fantasy league. So tonight, Mo Bamba and Anthony Edwards are going to be playing for me. Oh, looks like I need to make some quick updates before this thing gets underway. So, all right, well, thank you guys for tuning into this video. I got to make some quick updates. Hopefully I can get those guys in before tip-off. Hopefully it doesn't lock me out, because otherwise I'll be setting myself up for failure for this week. Keep checking back every Monday. I'm going to keep bringing these videos to you guys every Monday, talking about these fantasy matchups, and I will see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching the video.